I will criticize the corporate media till the cows come home. But when they deserve credit, I will give them credit. This is a pretty good Washington Post story. As he campaigns for president, Joe Biden tells a moving but false war story. Joe Biden painted a vivid scene for the 400 people packed into a college meeting hall. A 4-star general had asked the then vice president to travel to Kunar province in Afghanistan, a dangerous foray into God-forsaken country, to recognize the remarkable heroism of a Navy captain. Some told him it was too risky, but Biden said he brushed off their concerns. We could lose a vice president, he said. We can't lose many more of these kids. Not a joke. This is what he was telling a crowd at one of his campaign stops. The Navy captain, Biden recalled Friday night, had rappelled down a 60-foot ravine under fire and retrieved the body of an American comrade, carrying him on his back. Now the general wanted Biden to pin a silver star on the American hero who, despite his bravery, felt like a failure. He said, quote, "Sir, I don't want the damn thing," Biden said, his jaw clenched and his voice rising to a shout. Quote, "Do not pin it on me, sir. Please, sir, do not do that. He died. He died." The room was silent. This is the God's truth, Biden has said as he told the story. My word as a Biden. Except almost every detail in the story appears to be incorrect. Based on interviews with more than a dozen U.S. troops, their commanders, and Biden campaign officials, it appears as though the former vice president has jumbled events of at least 3 actual events into one story of bravery, compassion, and regret that never happened. Biden visited Kunar province in 2008 as a U.S. senator, not as vice president. The service member who performed the celebrated rescue that Biden described was a 20-year-old Army specialist, not a much older Navy captain. And that soldier, Kyler J. White, never had a Silver Star or any other medal pinned on him by Biden. At a White House ceremony 6 years after Biden's visit, White stood at attention as President Barack Obama placed a Medal of Honor, the nation's highest award for valor, around his neck. The upshot? In the space of 3 minutes, Biden got the time period, the location, the heroic act, the type of medal, the military branch, and the rank of the recipient wrong, as well as his own role in the ceremony. One element of Biden's story is rooted in an actual event. The vice president did pin a medal on a heartbroken soldier, Army Staff Sergeant Chad Workman, who didn't believe he deserved the award. In Afghanistan, he was moved by Staff Sergeant Workman's valor and selflessness, which is emblematic of the duty and sacrifice of the 9/11 generation of veterans who have given so much across countless deployments, Andrew Bates, a Biden campaign spokesman, said. Bates described honoring and recognizing those who have served our nation in uniform as one of Biden's most solemn obligations during his long career, and he added that Biden has devoted himself wholeheartedly on multitude of overseas trips. Biden, 76, has struggled during his presidential campaign with gaffes and misstatements that hark back to earlier political troubles. So this is where the Washington Post loses me, because the Washington Post, again, is covering for Joe Biden. These are not gaffes. Political gaffes are like, oh, I put my foot in my mouth. Oh, I said something I shouldn't have. This is somebody who cannot remember key details of events, who doesn't know that he's in New Hampshire and says he's in Vermont, who forgot President Obama's name during a speech last night, who forgot after 2 mass shootings in 24 hours, who forgot where they were. He said they happened in Houston and I think Michigan. They happened in El Paso and Dayton, Ohio. Now, some establishment people say, well, Jordan, look at our current president and his mental issues. Well, so you want to run one person who seems to be growing senile against another mentally deranged person? Because Trump's got a lot of mental deficiencies, but one thing I don't see with Trump, to be fair, he has energy. He's not forgetting. He's not stumbling over words. He's not forgetting cities yet. That could change. I don't know any political mind or anyone who is being honest and pure that their first priority is to defeat Donald Trump that could honestly say this person is the best suited to beat Donald Trump. Forget the polls for a second. Again, the polls at this point had Hillary Clinton far ahead of Bernie Sanders. The polls at this point had Hillary Clinton far ahead of any Republican, Jeb Bush or anyone. The polls could say one thing, but are those polls going to stay strong if Joe Biden became the nominee and all the focus is on Joe Biden on the Democratic side? And he's stumbling over words, he can't remember things, and it's possible in speeches he forgets full sentences. His campaign and the chance to defeat Donald Trump would be over in that instance. Completely over. This is serious business. This is why I set up this whole live stream talking about Trump trying to dismantle the environment, Trump trying to basically give a green light for his officials to just totally disregard laws, totally disregard environmental regulations, seize property illegally via eminent domain, just to get his wall done by election time. This man is not going to be easy to be defeated, but I feel we are in a similar boat because I think anybody but Hillary Clinton could have beaten Donald Trump in 2016, and I think we're setting up another election where any other credible candidate, I don't know if Warren would beat him. I don't know. Actually, I think Warren has a decent chance to beat Trump. I don't think it's a sure thing that Warren would beat Trump, but I think she has a better chance than Joe Biden. I think Bernie Sanders, by all the data, has the best chance to beat Donald Trump because Bernie Sanders' base also has very similarities to Donald Trump's base. People making under $50,000 a year, working class people, people with just high school degrees, which is the majority of Americans. That's who Bernie gets the most. Bernie is also doing very well among African Americans, which you need. Hillary Clinton had 5% less African Americans come out for her in 2016 than Obama had in 2012. Not to mention 5% less Latinos in 2016 than Obama had in 2012. Not to mention 6% less aged 18 to 29 than Obama had in 2012. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statusquo.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statusquo.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.